Hello dear viewers, a very warm welcome to our channel. In this video, we are going to have a look at a little demonstration on how to inspect your car alternator. Well, this is an on-vehicle inspection. You're going to see how to simply have a look at the alternator and see if it is healthy or not. A healthy alternator is very crucial for keeping your vehicle's electrical system running smoothly. So let's get started. First thing, make sure that the car is parked on a level surface and engage the parking brake. Then locate the alternator. Check the belt and inspect for any sign of wear such as cracks and frying. A worn belt can affect the alternator performance. So have a look at the belt. Is it in good shape? Visually inspect the belt. That can be followed by now visual inspection of the alternator. Look for any sign of corrosion, loose connection, fried wires. If you see anything unusual, it might be time for replacement or maintenance. So have a look at the alternator and its wiring. Turn the ignition switch on. If you have a magnetic metal like a axle blade, for example, then try touching the rotor. It should have some magnetism to it. If it attracts that indicates that excitation is applied to the alternator and now the rotor is being magnetized. That is another way of checking the wiring coming from the ignition switch to the alternator. You should have some magnetism felt. When the ignition switch is turned back off, the magnetism should disappear, and when the ignition switch is turned on, there should be some magnetism felt on the rotor. Now let's see the alternator output using a multimeter. Set your multimeter to DC voltage, and then when the engine off, connect the one probe of the multimeter to body ground or battery ground and connect the other to battery positive. By doing so, you can measure the alternator output. You should see a voltage reading of somewhere 12.7 volts before starting the vehicle, and then start the engine. So once the engine is started, if the voltage increases, it means the charging system is charging the battery. So this indicates that the charging system is running nicely and the alternator has a proper voltage output. As you accelerate, the voltage should increase, and it should not increase beyond a certain value. Once you accelerate, it should reach a maximum value that is determined by the regulator. If it continuously exceeds, it indicates that the alternator regulator is not functioning properly, that needs to be replaced. If the voltage remains within the 12.6 range, it also indicates that the alternator is not charging. The alternator is not producing voltage out. While the engine is running, listen for any unusual noise coming from the alternator. Grinding noise, whining noise, it could indicate there is an internal issue. For example, if there is a problem with the alternator bearing, that can generate a characteristic whining noise. So visually you can inspect. So listen for any unusual noise coming from the alternator. Finally, once the engine is turned off, feel the alternator, touch it, and if it should be warm but not excessively hot. If it feels extremely hot to the touch, that could indicate a trouble inside the alternator. If there are some short circuits, if there are some problems within the alternator that produce too much current flow within the alternator, that will make it extremely hot. So it should be warm, it should not be excessively hot. So this is a very simple method of inspecting the alternator when it is still on the vehicle. And then in order to see if the regulator is working perfectly or not, all you have to do is accelerate. Once the engine is accelerated, the voltage has to increase, then it has to stop at some maximum value. If it keeps on increasing, then it means the regulator is not working. Another way of checking if your charging system is working or not is there is a charge indicator lamp on the dashboard. The charge indicator lamp should go off once the engine is started. That is a simple way of checking function of the charging system. That is a quick guide on how to inspect your car's alternator. Regular check can save you from unexpected breakdowns. If you notice any issues during your inspection, don't hesitate to consult a professional mechanic so that the problem can be rectified immediately. Well, dear viewers, that is all we have for you in this presentation. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more car maintenance tips, and hit the notification bell. Drive safe and see you next time.